Okie dokie. Let's try this again. Let's try one more time for the one time. Let's see if it's better now. I don't know though. The YouTube thing hasn't even reset yet. Anyway, how's everybody doing? If the audio doesn't work this time, I guess it's just not meant to be. You know, very unfortunate. But you know, some technical difficulties. Can't always trust your equipment. Anyway, how's everybody doing? We're going to watch Royal Rumble 1995, and hopefully we will all enjoy it. Let's see, is the audio working yet? Nobody is here. So, can you hear me, Phil? Or am I coming through? So, yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, there we go. It's fixed. It's fixed. Okay, good. How am I watching WWE? Well, I'm bootlegging it. I'm bootlegging it pretty hard. It's a pain in the ass to bootleg Raw though every week though, because bootlegging pay-per-views and stuff like that is hard too, man. But bootlegging Raw every week is a disaster. All right, we about to get this show on the road. We can probably start, let's say 5 minutes after, and we'll get this thing started. As I was saying, I've been watching all the Superstars episodes that comes up to this. Guys like Hakushi and Mantar are, you know, fairly new. Jean-Pierre Lafitte had not even come in yet. So I don't remember everything about this show, even though I just watched Superstars coming up to this show. But I remember enough. And it's still going to be a very fun show to watch because it's 1995 WWF, which means it's great at the top, not so good in the middle and at the bottom, which is classic WWF in the 1990s. The top is great, the mid card is meh, and Top Dog says, I seen you commenting on the Bruno supposed to be Stan Hansen match. Such a great match. Oh, it was tremendous. It was tremendous. It was probably my favorite. You talking about the cage match, right? Because if the cage match is my favorite Bruno match. Stan Hansen was so fucking good, man. Excuse my language, kids. But he was tremendous. On WWE Old School, there's even some matches between Bruno and Bob Backlund that are on there that are pretty damn good too. We're gonna get this thing started in about 40 more seconds. So everybody goes to Peacock. We're going to Royal Rumble 1995, and we're going to press play at about the 4-minute mark of the live stream. So just everybody sit back, relax. I do not have any snacks because I can't, snack. It's too late for me to be eating anyway. So we got about another 20 seconds or so. But yeah, go watch the Bruno Hansen cage match. They also had some other really good matches, but the cage match is my favorite. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. Let's get this thing underway. Oh my God. First, there we go. This music. Hey, it's Pamela Anderson. There's Doink. No, that's Dink. Mabel Tatanka. Oh my God. Can you imagine Quang on the bang Pamela Anderson? She's not interested in Quang. She's not interested in the Doctor of Desire. She's not interested in Well Done. What is she? She thinks she's too good for Mabel. Precursor to Mabel's later gimmick, of course, would be She can't understand nothing he's saying. Yeah. Quang is up there making hand signals. He's trying to get that them panties. You know, he's trying to sign language, I guess. Tito Santana's on commentary. My lord, look. Oh boy, that giant screen was great in the '90s. Jerry Lawler wearing a jacket with no shirt, but that's how you know he was still kind of wrestling. This is like a game show, kind of with all the lights and everything. It's a little heavy on the aesthetics, you know, the colors and everything. I'm sure Vince loved this, but it reminds me of, like, you know, you on Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or something like that. 10,000 attendees, boy, times were tough in those days. I'm pretty sure how much of this is paper, because this is '95 WWF, so I'm pretty sure he didn't sell all those tickets. WG Fields, are you literally shaming from Trump's America? Has two Somalis and white-faced mock the country. Hey, it's the future AEW World Champion, Jeff Jarrett. That's the Colonel Jeff Jarrett. But this is before he was a Colonel. This is like Private Jeff Jarrett right here, Lieutenant Jeff. But those glasses kind of rule. It's very gimmicky. Jarrett's a really fun character. It's kind of goofy though. And I love that he was just wearing that gear, not because Vince told him to, but because I guess he liked it. Because he was even wearing it in WCW. I mean, he's got a light up hat. How could you not think light up hat Jeff Jarrett was cool? And the referee is Tim White. He's about to fight Razor Ramon. Oh, this is about to rule. Can't believe Scott Hall was like 36 when this match happened. I got 2 open water bottles. I didn't even notice it. I got hella water bottles in this room, for God's sake. Hey, the Intercontinental Champ is on a pay-per-view. Can you believe it? Oh, hell. What are you? This is like, you know, Space Aliens or something. The Intercontinental Championship being defended at a pay-per-view? What? No, it's not. You know, this is how things used to be. They didn't turn the lights off in Razor? Oh, they're probably going to turn them on when you get in the ring. They got the in-ring pyro, too. I love the in-ring pyro. That was my favorite thing about the New Generation era. I mean, amazing. Look at that shot. Razor was my Eddie Guerrero, bro. I can't lie to you. The way a lot of these kids feel about Eddie, that's how we felt about Scott when he was Razor, bro. He couldn't do no wrong. I don't care how many drugs he did, how drunk he was. Razor Ramon was the coolest son of a bitch walking the earth. I do wonder, like, it would be nice to ask him. You know, he's not around anymore. I wonder if anybody ever asked him, how did he keep the stubble like that without going full beard? Like, he just kept it somehow that way, like the stubble. How did he do that? Because I know if I even shave, like, you know, it grew into a full beard. He probably had a barber do it for him. But that, I know that had to be hard to do, especially since he was a man. He was almost 40 at the time. He's probably getting beards super quick. The crowd going nuts. They in for Razor. Look at all these degenerates. Oh, it took a bump on a punch. Guys bumping on punches. My lord. Jarrett brought his working boots. The Rock stole Razor Ramon's punches, by the way. Jarrett can punch too, though. That's the best thing about it. Hey, he's a heel, bro. He actually backing off. Fall away slam. I hate that they bastardized that move too, because he was the only one that was doing it at the time. Pretty much everybody does it. Choke slam. He used to choke slam jabronis, which used to be hilarious. Razor and Jarrett have such great chemistry. I agree. It's very good. Razor is rocking that yellow gear. This is outside of the red. This is like the top tier Razor gear. The Top Dog says it's crazy to think that WWE went from stuff like this to Stone Cold, DX, and Rock in 4 years. They pivoted on a dime, didn't they? They didn't have a choice. Like I said, it looked like a game show earlier. Too many colors and flashing lights. They were in their peak. This is for children years right at this point. Collar and elbow tie up even after all of that, and Jarrett gets an arm drag. Pretty good. The roadie is great too, though, by the way. Great gimmick. Great gimmick. You learned a lot from old Double J, even though Jarrett hasn't been in the business that much longer than Brian. Pressure makes diamonds, absolutely. It's a double strut. Yeah, simple. You see how simple what they're doing is? You know? Razor bumped Jarrett a bunch of times, hit a big move on him, but they're showing that Jarrett's the actual better wrestler. You know? Now Jarrett's about to fuck up. You can just see it coming. He got too cocky. Top wrist lock. Oh my god, you don't even see that anymore. Oh, look at this. As Top Dog says, Mongo, why do you think we never get any matches or people talking about wrestling pre-1980s? A lot of people don't watch stuff. You know, they don't listen to music that came out before they were born. They don't really watch. They may watch movies that came out or TV shows that came out before they were born. But people in America don't have a great reverence for stuff in the past, especially black people. I hate to put it that way, but it's true. They tend to go to their, what was their generation. AJ3 says, I wish Triple H looked back at the new generation era and see what worked and what didn't work and monetize it today. I wish they had in-ring pyro. Like that's the shit right there, brother. Whoosh. Look at these bumps Jarrett's taking, man. And look how he's selling too. They got bottles of water and that was a close fist punch. He got a right to complain this time. WG Phil says, I wonder if the dreads Road Dog got were real. I don't think so. I think it was weave. His braids were probably real, but I think the locks, I think that was weave. WG Phil says pre-80s wrestling fans were not preserved well enough. Yeah, a lot of them died out, A lot of those people died in territory wrestling. They didn't keep the tapes together all the time. And a lot of those guys from the territory, they were big stars in the territory. They just didn't become big stars elsewhere. So there's not a lot of interest in seeing the, like championship wrestling from Florida that doesn't feature Dusty and that kind of stuff. I know that Jim Cornette and these guys, they disagree, but facts are facts. There's a reason. If WWE could make more money by putting all that stuff out there, they would do it. The fact is, they can't make any money doing that shit. So, just like my state says, I've tried watching pre-'80s wrestling, and most of it is just really boring, bar a few exceptions like Gorgeous George and Billy Graham. Yeah, like a lot of the top guys are still good even when they're younger. And really, that's all pre-'80s wrestling is you watching younger versions of guys who were great in the '80s. You want to watch like a young Ricky Steamboat or a young Ric Flair, or a younger Sergeant Slaughter, yeah. But I am very happy that most people don't skip old WWF. They do go back and watch it. Like a lot of wrestling fans that I've seen, they may skip the 2010s and shit like that because that stuff really sucks. But you'd be hard pressed to find a fan who hasn't watched all the WrestleManias, all the Rumbles, etc. Even the most jaded, cynical, I don't watch WWF. They still watch like the WrestleManias and the Royal Rumbles. Top Dog says he felt wrestling pre-1980s was kind of underrated. I think so too, especially WWF in the pre-1980s. You don't hear that much about it, because the only person who really talks about really old wrestling that is like popular is Cornette, and he talks mostly about the NWA and stuff that you have to find on YouTube, or if you have to tape trade in order to get it, or WWF got it in a lockbox or a mountain somewhere. But yeah, if you watch pre-1980s wrestling, even some early '80s stuff is pretty good. One thing that I noticed is that a lot of this stuff is still kind of technically proficient. Like you got backslides and arm locks, and they're going for pins off simple stuff like clotheslines. Welcome King says, just saw the Royal Rumble results. Hey, spoilers for a 30-year-old show. Here come that punch. You flatten them right on out. He says, also miss when the Royal Rumble winner has to throw 10 superstars out to win it. The only thing I really hate about the Royal Rumble now is the excitement is gone because they keep changing the entrance themes, and the themes are so generic. Nobody knows who these people are. But the Rumble is the single most exciting match in wrestling, period. It's quite frankly the best match. If you don't watch wrestling at all, you can still get into the Royal Rumble and like it. That's what gets WWE to the next level. You don't need to invest an hour in two guys. You can invest an hour in 30. And then it's supposed to have its own inner story, So you can be able to follow the story as soon as the bell rings. Or hell, even before the bell rings. They blatantly cheating. Just my mistake says, back when I used to listen to Cornette's podcast, someone asked him what he thought was the best decade of wrestling. He said the 70s. Russo has a point about him. Well, of course he would say the 70s. That's when he was a kid. He probably remembers every single goddamn thing about wrestling from the 70s. I'm pretty sure if you ask somebody older, they'd probably say the 40s or the 50s or whatever. Ooh. Look how wild the fans are going over something like that. Fans don't even react to shit like that no more. And I'm glad Jared is selling it. And they work in a very deliberate pace. They're not working too fast and not doing too much. WG Phil says, Also, the library material from 1940, 1980 is damaged. We don't have most of the wrestling challenge WCW Saturday nights on WCW Pro on the network. That's just them being lazy, not putting up all the B shows and stuff. Like they didn't put Action Zone up. Um, there's still some other things that they don't have. I'm surprised they didn't put all the free for alls up on these shows too. Like to be quite honest, each Royal Rumble from especially from the mid '90s should be two parts. It should be the free 30-minute free for all, which I'm pretty sure they have on tape, and and then the event itself, similar to how they got things now. That was a nice chop block by the roadie, by the way. That was pretty stiff. Just like Mystique said, they had a PS2 game called Legends of Wrestling, and they have a lot of old NWA guys in it. If I remember correctly, it's the same game that I have for Nintendo 64. Would you say Bruno was the Hogan of the 60s and 70s? Absolutely. He was the template, the blueprint. Jarrett won by count out, and he's not happy. Can't win the title that way, Jeff. Now you about to pull some full-on chicanery. If Jarrett won such a fucking malcontent, he could have been a main event guy in WWE, especially at this time. Because they desperately needed someone. Jeff Jarrett was 27 in this timeline of 1995. And Scott Hall was 10 years older than him, wasn't he? He's about 35 or something, I think. He's calling him a coward. Nobody calls Razor Ramon a coward. He's a chicken. Chicken. Tim White has always waved his joint off. He's waved it off. MJF versus Brub 60-minute epic with wrestling power, I guess, for some. You can never get me to watch 40 minutes of people I don't like. I just don't. They don't make sense to me. And people don't need to think about that. Or people I don't know either, you know. It's hard. That's why it's easier to watch the televisions of like old territory stuff. Logan King said Royal Rumble 2024 was so awkward. I didn't know who it was until I saw a name or a logo. It's gonna be even worse this year, dog. Jared didn't talk this fool into coming back in the ring. I was never a big fan of restarting the match. I don't like that idea. It's a good heel tactic, but kick right to that leg. Look how clean that ring is, too, brother. Spotless ring. They don't got like a Toys R Us logo in the middle of that motherfucker or nothing like that, you know. Big old Ico Pro in the corner or some shit. And the people are upset about this too. They are not happy. Royal Rumble was always your favorite match. Mine too. It still is. It's hard for me not to get excited for our Royal Rumble, even if I don't care about it. How you gonna break it? Just my mistake says he got into wrestling after the Attitude Era, but would still say the '90s was objectively the best decade because of the competition, star power, and accessible television coverage. Yeah, it was far more. Uh, you got far more. Uh, and all the TV is recorded from the '90s. Like there's still stuff from the '80s that was mostly house show stuff, but all the stuff from the '90s is pretty much recorded, especially the television programs. It wasn't quite a house show business yet. I mean, it was fully television business. It was like a mixture of both. But like in the '80s, it was still mostly house show business. The '90s was coming more of a TV business. In the 2000s, it was almost completely a TV business, and they didn't give a shit about house shows really. Simple storytelling that they're doing here with this move, this figure four leg lock. $18 minutes, 16 seconds for this match. Well, they had that pretty long break there. Wrestling was in the '80s was better than wrestling in the '90s. There were more than two companies, which led to more variety. Plus, you had a bigger cast of legends in the business. I'm talking about early '80s then, because it was pretty much two companies by the time it got to like '88. Most everybody else was dead. You know, he spun around on that joint. Lips chapped. So Triple H fired Jeff Jarrett the moment Mattel teased an action figure release of classic Jeff. Oh, nice counter. If you watch Scott Hall in AEWA, he's in his 20s, but he looks mid-40s with the stash. Yeah, he was gigantic too. He was massive. He actually leaned down a little bit when he became Razor. He was massive in AWA. He was too damn big. Yeah, buddy. From that Razor's Edge. Hall and Nash were like deceptively old at this time too, especially for top guys. Both of them were like in their mid-30s. And simple. 1, 2, and 3. Simple, small package. Didn't take a gunshot and a cannonball. And the people are upset. It was clean, though. He didn't cheat. He cheated during the match, but he didn't cheat in the finish. That's when you put the belt on upside down? Oh, no, that's right. He made this dork the number 2 guy in the company. That's the same belt that Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, and now Jeff Jarrett, a new version of the Honky Tonk Man, is walking around with it. He was a fun Intercontinental Champion, though. I just can't believe they didn't put Jarrett in there with Brett. Like, they could have had some really good matches together. That's characters, you know. It seemed like that would have been a natural thing for Jarrett to work with Brett. And once that didn't happen, it wasn't never going to happen for Jeff. He definitely was not a main event guy in the Attitude Era. Big ass Blue Chew logo in the middle of the ring. You feel me? Dumb shit. So you prefer the 90s for more mature stories, hardcore elements from ECW, more sex appeal, less kiddie and corny. Oh, these wrestlers are so generous.
We've got Sardines from the Bushwhackers, British Bulldog, Henry Godwin, the Hog. This is great.
They all got gifts for Pamela Anderson. Isn't that sweet?
Really?
Uh-oh, she's talking about wearing the Lex Luger shirt to it. And it's not even autographed. He didn't even autograph the picture for Pam. Man, he's just a selfish guy. It's hard. I think it's hard to beat, like, ooh, that's a good year. Like, what was peak Flair? Maybe 85, 86, maybe?
Like a piece of candy? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm dropping. Let's go back to step.
Pettingill, if you don't tame that mullet. Stephanie, get out what you're saying here. What's IcoPro? IcoPro was that it was a supplement that Vince had invested in. One of his many idiot businesses. Back when he was doing the WBF, he launched IcoPro at the same time. Top Dog, it said, me besides ECW, most of the 90s was kiddie for wrestling, whereas 80s, besides WWE, was more mature. Sure. I can see that. Jeff Jarrett got a really dopey haircut. He looked like a 1950s teenage boy. I'd take any era of wrestling instead of watching AEW and Smackdown. Smackdown's gonna be brutal tomorrow, isn't it? Okay. IRS, one of the most boring guys of all time. Great gimmick, incredibly boring guy. AJ3 says he saw the early TNA NWA clip of Jeff Jarrett and Scott Hall rekindling their feud, with Jarrett kind of shooting on him, saying he ain't worth shit. Well, considering all the shows he no-showed during that time, I'm pretty sure he probably felt that way. Scott Hall had checked out of wrestling, man. It was just a job. Says, I don't know why WWE got Jeff Jarrett signed in a Legends deal since 2018 and never included him in the video games or action figures. That was a waste of a Legends deal. I thought he'd got into the video games by now. I'm pretty sure a lot of the Well, recently that's AEW stuff, but I would imagine back then they would have put him in the games and stuff, but they didn't do it, huh? How would you think Hogan would have done in mid-90s WWF? Well, Hogan still wanted to do Hogan shit, so it would have been more of the same, I guess. I don't like that, though. They needed to move away from Hogan. They absolutely did. I remember my dad saw Undertaker in like 2007 and was like, damn, he's still around? And this was 2007. And then I didn't have the heart to tell him he's still going in 2018. That he was still going until 2020. But I remember watching Royal Rumble and he was there, and he was like, "God damn, Undertaker's still around." He thought it was the two different guys. Like that's how long the gimmick was. Is that my dad literally thought the Undertaker was two different people. I'm like, no, it's the same guy, same guy, the same gimmick. There was a second guy for a while, but he's gone. But same guy. It's similar to the Ultimate Warrior thing. Everybody thought the Ultimate Warrior was two different people. That's how old Undertaker is. But I think you probably just remember in SummerSlam '94 when there was two Undertakers. That was probably the last time my dad even looked at a wrestling show too. Top Dog says people were still wearing mullets in the '90s. '80s really lingered into the '90s. Yeah, this is mid '90s, so the mullets are starting to go out, but people still do have them. There's not nearly as many as you saw in '89 though. '89, '90. That was chief mullet time right there, brother. Top tier mullets. Henry Godwin is the victim of the brawl for all. JBL confirmed that Henry got hurt and he quit the wrestling business ever since. That left Midian, aka Flipper. I forgot about that too. I forgot he was even still there for that. IRS versus Deadman. Who wins? I mean, yes, this you can go to Vegas on this one. Yeah, he was still full time in 2010. Yeah. He didn't actually start hitting that part-time streak until like 2013 or 2014. Then he still went another 6 years. Rotunda had been around forever at this point. I mean, he's just been wrestling forever, especially all around the NWA territories and stuff. I just can't believe he got away with being IRS like 3 years. He was stealing money. What did he tell him to get back for? He's standing in the middle of the ring. Go to a neutral corner, I guess. Ted DiBiase, the manager, that was great too. They gave him some bums to manage though, but it was great. IRS is his former tag team partner, so it works. This dude is wrestling in a tie. He's wrestling in slacks. It's amazing. And he's sweating already. They ain't even done anything yet. He's sweating already. They ain't even done anything yet. It must just be hot, I guess. wearing a short sleeve button up shirt. And he still rolled the sleeves up. What a worker. Yeah, Undertaker not being bald is hilarious. Well, I guess it would have killed the gimmick if he'd have gone bald, huh? He said Undertaker also declined pretty fast. He was still great in 2014, whereas 4 years later in 2014, he was pretty much washed. You mean 2018? Yeah. I think that all the injuries kind of and the age pretty much caught up with him at that point. I think it's fair to say probably 2017, 2018, Undertaker was, it was tough. It was tough. It's not his best years. He said, speaking of JBL, he took over Bruce's podcast, something to wrestle with for a bit. Homeboy, cool as fuck. Yeah, most people that hated Bradshaw, they didn't really listen to him, didn't really know him. And then when he started doing his own podcast with Gerald Briscoe, he started getting more fans, I think. People started actually like paying attention to him. So I wonder what happened to his podcast with Gerald Briscoe. Did he stop doing it? Or is it on like hiatus? Because he's doing this stuff for Bruce right now. Well, why is JBL the one filling in? What's going on with that? I was wondering why he was doing the podcast. So I thought he was like a guest, but then I started saying like all the stuff was new, like all the new comments were new. I'm like, what the hell? IRS was blowing. Man, he was on something. This boy twisted. Sweating harder than a motherfucker. He never even thought to modify the character a bit. IRS literally the same thing from 93 until he left. Oh shit. Grabbed the man by his tie. Yeah, you shouldn't be wrestling in a tie and suspenders like an idiot. The National Federation of Losers. I wish Ted DiBiase could wrestle at this point, but he'd been wrestling since the 70s, so then probably not even a good idea for him to wrestle anyway. He says, was Savage still in WWF at the time? No, he was gone by this point. He was in WCW by this point. He went in WCW like late 94, I think. Uh-oh. What's this about? They got a metal briefcase right there, and they arguing. Uh-oh. Calling the goons. He's calling the goons. The Druids. Ain't no damn Druids. He's still sweating very much. He's sweating a lot. I don't think it matters who the Druids are, Vince. I don't think it matters who the Druids are at this point in time. Okay. AJ3 says he's got to be 40. You talking about Ted DiBiase? He's probably well over 40 at this point. I don't think he was particularly young when he retired. Can't wait for Wheeler Yutta's podcast in 2050. I don't think I'll be here to see it. There's not going to be much to tell. You might have all the good juicy tales about the Death Riders and all that. At that point in time, I'll be, 70 or some shit like that? I don't know, man. Boy, I might not make it. You have to tell me about it in the afterlife. Top Dog says Vince puts and Macho Man will forever be dumb. Macho Man was still a huge name in pop culture, and him in the ring could have really helped the company. Yeah. But I think once he once he had made the decision to get rid of Hogan, I think everything that had to do with Hogan had to go. But the confusion is that he brought Warrior back, which made no sense. You got rid of Savage and then brought back Warrior. That was ridiculous. But then Warrior is younger than both Hogan and Savage, so maybe that was his thinking. Is the kids will remember Ultimate Warrior because Hogan was having his resurgence at the time too. Well, he was about to have his resurgence. They hadn't turned Hogan yet, but he was helping in WCW. And also, it's a good idea to bring Warrior in '95 so that WCW wouldn't bring him in, which is I'm pretty sure why Vince brought Warrior in. He brought him in and he didn't. He proved to be unreliable. So, tales of being useless with Conrad Thompson. You pretty sure Conrad's heart not gonna explode before mine does? Conrad's a heavy dude. I'm not wishing death on Conrad though. I'm just saying. Well, Undertaker's poor obliques. For God's sake, protect his obliques. It'll be Conrad Thompson's head in a jar. This match is going on long enough. You don't look like they're nowhere near finished, but this thing is going on long enough. So Ted is 40 and Mike Rotunda IRS is 37. God damn. That Macho Man Shawn Michaels feud would have been great. Especially in '92, trying to seduce Miss Elizabeth would have been great TV. They did have the one match that they had in England. But I'm, thinking like also a Savage heel turn would have been fine. Savage versus The Undertaker would have been fine. Savage versus The Hitman would have been great. Wish he got to work with Scott Hall too. And Diesel. I don't think he worked with any of those guys when he was in the WWF. And he was still there. He was there long enough to work with Diesel and Hall too. What was that about? Somebody must have missed a spot. Otherwise, they just ran into each other, fell down. And the Druids are in the ring, for God's sake. He just set up out of the joint. Here comes that tombstone. Oh. This sensible story that they're telling here. That was IRS's finish, by the way, is that flying clothesline he just did. Every time you see IRS win a match, it's because he used that move. I don't understand how he got away with such a hilariously bad finish. And it didn't help that he didn't win much, so it didn't matter. But yes, he was beating people with that clothesline. This 12 minutes feels like 30. IRS is so bad. He's so sweaty, my God. Did he just say he's not gonna take the tombstone? Is that what that was? Something went wrong there. Something went wrong there, I can tell you that much. It looked weird. Anyway, X9's GOATs, Hogan, Flair, Taker, Cena, Hall, Big Nose, I guess Triple H, Eddie, Rey, Mysterio, Juice and Liger, and Macho Man. That's not bad. I wouldn't put Triple H anywhere near that shit though. I've never been a Triple H fan. Never ever. He was okay though. Yeah, it's just he's the face of me not wanting to watch wrestling. So it's hard for me to care about what Triple H is doing. But he's just the face of me not wanting to watch this shit. Undertaker, stay getting jumped by weirdos, man. This is the second Royal Rumble in a row where he got jumped by a bunch of people. In '94, he got jumped by a dozen people. This time it's only two. They laying him in, and he's not going down at all. What kind of Druid got knee pads on though? Uh-oh, it's King Kong Bundy. The Monster Slayer King. Bundy was a young man too. When he started, he was young. He wasn't as old as people think he was at this point in time too. And he wasn't like necessarily like the youngest guy in the world, but he wasn't like, you know, what was he 19 when he started or something like that? He was far more like the Kingpin from Spider-Man in Texas though. They didn't lean into that at all in the WWF. Just think about how cool that would have been if King Kong Bundy had showed up in like a suit. They wouldn't have let him have a cigar, but he's a gigantic potato here though. And he working super light. He's trying not to kill Undertaker with everything he does here. He tearing them knees up. Big bald idiot. And they stole the urn too. Ted DiBiase's forever feud with The Undertaker. It was sensible. He brought him in. King Kong Bundy was his best hitter at this point in time too. They're about to feed his other best hitter to a football player. Look at this baby face shit they got going on here. Look at this shit. He was only 37. Yeah. He was very young when he started. But King Kong Bundy still being around in '95 was nuts. Especially considering he wasn't around that long in the first place. But him and Kamala just working their way back to the WWF in the mid '90s was nuts. D says the fact that we had Undertaker and Sting and WWE at the same time, they never had a match or a segment will always bother me. I think Sting would have had to been around for like 5 years in order for that shit to happen. This is a very serious time for Diesel.
Folks, I'm sitting with the hitman Bret Hart getting ready for the match. Bret, I just talked to Diesel. He really didn't want to talk about it himself. A lot different than he was earlier on today on the Action Zone. Not quite as loose as he was. But let me ask you, this has got to be weighing heavy on your mind. Your chance. This is your moment in the spotlight to recapture the WWE Championship.
I hate that muting of the WWF.
Talk about it. I lost the title, Survivor Series. I've thought about it ever since. From that day on to right now, since the clock ticks closer to the match. It's all I thought about is winning back that title. If I win back that title, I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care if anybody care. I know people like Diesel. Hey, I like Diesel. This is business. This is war, and I want the title back.
Speaking about Diesel, the Jackknife, we talked about it a little bit on the Action Zone.
I hate the Action Zone. I hate that show. The first episode was good, but the rest of that shit is trash. It's terrible. Terrible show.
I'll cross that road.
You say he was 25 when he got in the business the first time? No, he was younger than that. Because he was in Texas. WrestleMania 2 was 1986. You said he was 25, or he was 28. Okay, so he might have been 25 then. I think he was like 23 or something like that. I think he was younger than that. What is your dream WrestleMania match? I don't know. I don't think I have one. It'd probably be cross-generational. I hate Jerry Lawler's haircut. Scheduled for one fall is for the World Wrestling Federation. Well, let's get this thing started. You say watching older shows on Netflix, you notice that Howard Finkel's term laid down for some reason. I don't know. He must be in Europe or something like that, because this stuff's still on Peacock in the States. Oddly enough, Bret Hart is he's older than IRS was in the last match, and older than Scott Hall was in the first match. Bret's solidly in his, I think it's solidly 40 at this point. I think he was 35 when he won his first title. That was 3 years prior to this. He's about 38 now, 39. We're about to be 38. That's insane how old these guys were. You can't tell. John Cena versus Jeff Hardy, WrestleMania 26. If Hardy didn't leave, would have been a PG era version of Hogan versus Warrior, or Rock versus Austin. That would have required maybe Hogan and Warrior probably be a good example, because Hardy can't be a heel for shit in his life, and that never would have worked. People would have forced John Cena to be a heel in that match. That would have been great though. Jeff Hardy versus Cena, that'd have been great. Maybe Jeff Hardy can get another match at WrestleMania this year. It's unreal. They call him Big Daddy Cool. I don't even understand this gimmick. Has anybody ever explained the Diesel gimmick? It don't even matter, dog. Nash had charisma, had swag. They didn't give anybody to work with though, outside of Bret and Shawn and Undertaker. But he ain't Undertaker to turn heel. Otherwise, he was killing guys. They did built Sid up right. Sid would have been a great opponent for him. I know they worked a couple of in your house events, but that was it pretty much. Shake hands with Lawrence Taylor. Worst thing about this show was, worst thing about 95 was the Lawrence Taylor push. Especially now you look back at it. My God. What a fucking creep. At the time, though, I thought it was pretty cool. I was into football, so I thought Lawrence Taylor was pretty cool. Steve McMichael was on was on Raw too, I think. That was the start of his wrestling career. Was this angle here? Cena versus Hogan could have been fine. That could have been interesting. I don't think Hogan would want to do the job though. The super push for Diesel was nuts. It was crazy when I was a kid, for God's sake. But looking back on it, it was really crazy. He won all 3 belts in 1 year. All 3 of their matches is very good, by the way. All 3 of the Bret Diesel matches are very good. Well, I think they have 4, actually. They had the King of the Ring match, this match, then there is the cage match, and then there is the Survivor Series match. No, it's Survivor Series and the cage match. The cage match was their last match. All their matches were pretty good. Yes, he was. I think I just saw a short where he was talking about how he got into the WWF. That he quit WCW, and Ole Anderson didn't even look up, just gave him his walking papers when he asked to get his release. With Brett in 95, 96 was godly shit. Yeah, I mean, they wish he'd had to give him like a more variety of opponents. They kind of, I don't want to say wasted him with Bob Backlund, but Backlund wasn't the right guy to be working with at, WrestleMania, for God's sake. He worked Survivor Series and WrestleMania with Bob Backlund. That's crazy. What would make Vince decide to do that when you have so many other guys on the roster? And like I was talking about before, you had a guy like, well, I think he was about to leave at this point, but he still had Lex Luger on the roster. It's sad. You should probably Google what's up with Lawrence Taylor at this point in time. And then maybe that'll answer the question about why he's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. You will absolutely get the answer that you're looking for if you Google what he's been up to lately. That should definitely be illegal, but the fans like it. I definitely think Jeff would have been. I've listened to people try to argue that Jeff would not have been bigger than Cena. It's kind of, the company probably would have prevented it, but I think that if they'd just let Jeff do him, Jeff would have been fucking president of the United States, dog. Wonder why that Benoit fella ain't all. I don't know. Nice guy, Chris Benoit, right? Upstanding gentleman, Chris Benoit. Top Dog says, when you realize this time period in 95 was the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. When I was a kid, man, it seemed like the Cowboys always won the Super Bowl. The Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills were like always at the top of the NFL. I was a long-suffering Lions fan, just getting my weekly dose of Barry Sanders. That's all I really cared about. Maybe a little Herman Moore in my spirit. Whoever the producer was didn't tell them that that Hall and Jarrett were going to do the leg thing earlier. I'm pretty sure they would have known to not do it in this match too, but it makes more sense here. I know Vince is not booking. Vince is not writing the shows anymore. What's going on? Very confusing. Jesus Christ. Yikes. Roy Hebner was always my favorite referee. I always liked the slow, deliberate counts that he used to put out there. Top Dog doesn't think Jeff Hardy would have been bigger than Cena. It would have been equal. So essentially Rock and Austin, the PG era, with each of them being 1A and 1B. I can see that. Vince never would have turned Jeff heel, though. That never would have happened. If Jeff would have stuck around, then maybe you don't get so much Rey Mysterio. But because, you know, Jeff probably would have played the same role Rey played. Would have been great to have like a Jeff Hardy CM Punk feud. I know he mentioned he wants to retire CM Punk. That's not going to happen. CM Punk is not going to let that happen. But it would be nice though to go back to their feud from like a decade ago. But the way Punk is now, they probably would have blue collar working man Chris Benoit, salt of the earth guy. You have to go back to that. What was it? Was it the Four Horsemen DVD where Arn Anderson said he can't say anything bad about Chris Benoit? That shit aged like milk in the sun, bro. Whew. Sheesh. It should age like a banana. Hey, damn, that is kind of cheating there, Brett. Brett liked to bend the rules. Oh. Brett's kind of ferocious out here, bro. He's serious. They ain't throwing him into the ring post. He ain't playing no games with Diesel. This is their second match though, so they know each other pretty well at this point. He said, notice that Howard Finkel outlasted Bret the Hitman Hart as the longest tenured employee of WWE. I'm pretty sure he was the longest tenured anyway, because he was there before Bret got there. Howard Finkel is calling matches in the 70s. He's ring announcing in the 70s. Bret got there in what, 82, 83? I'm pretty sure Howard Finkel was already there. In fact, I think Howard Finkel, they said, he was the first employee of the WWF. Was Howard Finkel. That sidewalk slam was nuts. And it was sold very well, too. Move is so simple, yet it makes so much sense. He says, nothing will top NBA fans asking what happened to Chris Jericho. I retired after that. I probably would have retired, too. That shit would have made me feel bad. It actually did. It made him go and get in shape. You know, he went and got in shape after that. a little bit of the bubbly. And he stopped doing all that, and he went and got somewhat decently cut. And it didn't last long, but he heard him. Unfortunately, he stopped listening. The Punk will retire himself before he lets anyone else does. Yeah, I don't think anybody else. He's don't let anybody retire him. Everybody should have somebody to let do it, though. I would imagine everybody has at least one opponent they would like to be their final opponent. I mean, you better off picking them yourself. Especially these days, you get to pick your final opponent. Back then, you know, most guys didn't even get a choice in the matter. I wish Kurt Angle could have got his match, though. I don't think he could have lasted with Cena, though. Do I think Jeff will get his Roman match? Nope. Because by the time he worked his way back to WWE, if he ever comes back, Roman will probably be either gone or like he is now, barely on TV. I just don't see it happening. I think you'll probably see him get that CM Punk match before you get that Roman Reigns match. I am interested in how all of Jeff's ideas, though, don't involve Matt. He's not talking about working a tag match with CM Punk. You know, we're talking about working a tag match against the Usos or anything like that, even though they did work the Usos. Did I notice Baron Corbin's interview was out today? Or the Chris Van Vliet thing? The only thing I noticed that came out of that, I didn't listen to it, but he talked about how somebody didn't like him in WWE. It's obvious Triple H wasn't a fan, racing him in NXT. And that's why, because, you know, again, Triple H has been remarkably consistent. If he didn't push you in NXT, he's not pushing you on the main roster. The only reason he pushed Liv Morgan was because she was in the position already. She was already there. And he wanted to tell the story with Rhea Ripley. He hadn't. I told you guys before about the Alexa Bliss and Carmella stuff. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow. But it explains why Bianca's not getting a push. It explains why none of the NXT 2.0 folks are getting pushed. You know, why Baron Corbin got released, why Elias got released. He only keeping the people that he was pushing in NXT. He didn't push Lacey Evans, so Lacey Evans is gone. You know, it's the politics of it. Uh-oh. Bench press by Brett. Oh, nice counter by Brett. Top Dog says I'm down to get another Jeff Hardy CM Punk match. I want all my fellow Hardy fans to get our revenge after 16 long years. You think Jeff can fit? Physically, I don't think they could have the same kind of match that they could before. I would be interested in seeing what that match looked like. I really would, because Jeff doesn't even work singles matches now. So he might have. Oh no, this is just completely over the top, Brett. This is completely over the top, Brett. Time a man knees together, ankles and shit. Joe Hendry was on Busted Open and called out John Cena. That's hilarious. Why wouldn't he call out AJ Styles or something? I guess you're gonna shoot for the stars, right? If you're gonna shoot for the stars. You don't see a bulldog that often in wrestling anymore. He said he was going to get Roman, but he fucked up and got himself fired. Yeah, he thought the grass was greener on the other side. All very unfortunate material there. All very unfortunate stuff. Top Dog said he's surprised Triple H is pushing Tiffany, considering she's a hot blonde and is from NXT 2.0. We'll see whether she gets a push or not, or whether she's just holding the belt. It seems like she might be in a Braun Breaker situation where they're just holding the belt. They've already moved her feud because she was supposed to be feuding with Nia Jax, right? And they've already taken Nia away from that story. So now what? They really had a decent match here with Diesel selling the leg and Brett being vicious. He's not working heel though. He's just being vicious. He understands that Diesel is the babyface. And it's the top babyface at that. Oh, he caught him. Oh, right into the ring post. Great spot. A simple spot, too. Tiffany's going to feud with Candice, who happens to be another Triple H favorite. Huh. You don't say. Huh. You don't say. She was terrible. If she's terrible in NXT, she's terrible now. Indie marks like Candice LeRae, and I don't understand why. Going for the jackknife. Nailed that joint, too. Ooh, brother. Sean was late. Sean missed a spot. I can't believe it. That came out of nowhere. Yeah, that is a clear disqualification, sir. A clear disqualification. And he just... And Hebner is going to let the match go after all of that. What the hell is wrong with you, Hebner? Get out of here, Hebner. Match must continue. That's crazy. If Brett would have won this match after Sean interfered, that would have been the craziest fucking finish. He said WWE 2K bringing back intergender matches. It's going to be hilarious if they end making Chris Benoit or Vince facing women. You know they're going to do that. It's the first thing they do. Yes, it's a conspiracy, clearly. Now you got the nerve to ask Diesel if he want to quit. You should just quit. Brett's just destroying this guy's leg, for God's sake. He's been kicking that leg's ass for 30 minutes now, man. Back on the figure four. Let's see Keena James' new boots. I posted her new boots in the Discord, bro. Boots is going crazy. It seemed they lost the crowd a little bit when Sean interfered and the match continued. Those punches look pretty good, and they look like they hurt. I don't think I've ever seen a figure four broken with stomach punches before. I don't think I've ever seen that. Working that leg. Dirty tactics by the It Man. So many dirty tactics. Hebner being obviously biased for Brett. It says, "Ain't this amazing how the WWE Championship is in a curtain jerking spot?" What do you mean? It's the third match. I think there's probably only 5 matches on the show. There's going to be a breather match probably, and then the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble should be the main event. It's about the right spot. Sad how Tripe H isn't doing anything with her, but of course he pushes ugly man and women with no charisma. Yikes. Candy LaRue and Johnny Saneface should do a team called the Unusual Family. They're very weird people, aren't they? At least they're happy, I guess. I can't be mad at that. I always like this move by Nash because it's so simple. The foot stretch to the face, such a simple move, and he's the only one that does it. Oh no, that was dumb. They really gave Brett 30 minutes with Nash, though. That's nuts. I know Nash was suffering. Like, Jesus Christ, why would you do this? Wait a minute, now you got a steel chair. Oh, you on some bullshit. Right in front of the ref. Brett, what is Vince talking about? I just looked at him do it. Yeah, and it still won a lot of boos at that. Even after all the cheating, he's still not getting a lot of boos. Here comes Owen. Oh, now it's a disqualification, huh? Look at this shit here. No, right to the chest. Call him a loser. Brett Owen should have wrestled at WrestleMania 11 too, because this feud went on forever. I don't know what they was thinking going with Backlund. I don't know what they were thinking about that. But Brett Owen should have wrestled at 11 too because of this shit here. And maybe that was the plan, and then they changed it. This referee he's out of line. He's gone rogue. He's letting people hit each other with chairs. He's letting run-ins happen. He's just out of line, man. Oh man. Brett just took that turnbuckle to the chest like a champ. And he ain't got up, moved, or nothing. He's been laying there. Look at the drama, the struggle of him crawling on his forearms. Get out of here. They got him. They probably sitting back there laughing. We got him. We got him still biting on 2 counts here. Brett's obvious cheating, though. Nope. Back kicks to the leg. Oh, Lord have mercy. I was surprised they didn't do blood from that spot. But then again, Vince wasn't really a big fan of the blood thing. Oh, no. What's up with this copy? He threw like 500 punches at Devil's head, unprotected. God damn. Oh, look at that. Look how he got Brett's his tights. He's mauling Brett now. That was great. These boys cooking at this point. I wish they didn't do the run-ins. Like the run-ins kind of took away from the match. But you see how they didn't do a stupid boo-yay? And they was doing it in Japan at the time too, boo-yaying and chopping each other in the chest back and forth. They got a Diddy documentary. It's already out. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on there. Oh, look at Brett. He's full of shit. This is the classic Brett right here. Yeah, he is playing possum. He's full of shit. He's faking. Bullshit. The crazy thing is he did this in this match, and then he did it again in the next match and still managed to win. Oh, referee down now. Jesus. Everybody's down. Here comes the bad guys again. And goddamn, not a Bob Backlund and this is insane. This is what I'm talking about. None of these people got anything to do with this. They just whooping this man ass. And they were already down on the ground too, so that definitely helped matters. It's weird now that I know all the people in the ring. When I was a kid, I didn't have no idea who Gerald Briscoe was. I knew who Pat Patterson was because I had seen his name before. I think Rene Goulet is still in the ring too. Yeah, I think that's him center shot right there. Is that Jack Tunney? No, that's Pat Patterson. What am I talking about? I can't see for shit. He said Bret did nothing wrong. He tried to make every match feel good. It's amazing. Everyone loves Bret Hart, but don't study his match psychology enough. This was probably the match that I think was probably the wildest because of the obvious cheating and outside interference that the referee just allowed to happen. I was surprised Bret didn't put a stop to all that stuff, but he probably couldn't. 27-minute draw. God damn. Yeah, how can you control the match? These guys keep running in the fucking ring. And Backlund out of nowhere. Been going crazy again. Now the shit's happened again. And now there's 4 of them beating up Beast. Oh shit. Sean got out of there. He ain't take his bump. Look at this. This is what I mean by a strong baby face. Diesel just worked 30 minutes with Brett and still managed to fight all the heels off by himself. That's crazy, right? But he's strong. He's 7 feet tall. He can handle this, even on one leg. Because everybody is tiny. Now, this is good Bob Backlund right here. We're not talking about 1970-something Bob Backlund. This is good Bob Backlund. This is maniac Bob Backlund. This is Bob Backlund that wants to pasteurize you. That is Rene Goulet. Vince in 2017 would have made this a tag team match or some dumb shit like that. After Brett hit him in the leg with a chair, he helped him to his feet. Stiff competition. Fair competition. After all of this, after all of his bullshit. Oh, look at that. And the people are popping on that nonsense. Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts. That's just everybody loves Brett, so they're gonna go with it. I was furious with this as a kid. I was very unhappy. I hate draws. I hate countouts and disqualifications, especially on pay-per-view. But they did a good job here. It might be, well, all of Kevin Nash's best matches are Bret Hart matches, to be quite honest. But this is probably their 3rd best match. Survivor Series was the best match they had. Survivor Series 95 was their best match. And then I think King of the Ring 94 was their 2nd best match. That's also disqualification. Same gimmick, a bunch of heels ran in and beat them up. Then it's probably this one. And then the cage match will probably be last. There was always a ton of interference in their fucking matches, though. Why, Sean? Because Sean, I guess, was supposed to get hit, but he didn't. And you weren't supposed to catch it. You weren't supposed to catch it. He didn't take a bump.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, sure, I can.
Oh, this is a huge coup for Vince to be able to get Pamela Anderson in WWE.
You want me to bring it?
Considering she was a huge star at the time. I'm surprised they didn't put her in the Hall of Fame. But I'm sure she was the precursor to Sable.
No, thank you.
You know, once they brought in Sable, which was next year, actually, 96.
Well, I'm here with the
one. Oh, it's a tag team championship tournament final.
Cinderella story. You two weren't even supposed to be in the semifinals. You replaced the Smoking Gun.
God, Bob Holly is balding even at this point. Look at this guy. Look at the state of this man.
So excited. We're so nervous.
Because the idea was to win the match back then, but nowadays everybody's just doing moves for attention and star ratings. Yeah, it's so unfortunate.
We're just like the San Diego Chargers. They're getting their chance at the Super Bowl.
So which wrestler who had a world title run could pull the Psycho Bob Backlund gimmick? Probably like a Jinder Mahal.
Thank you very much,
It was probably a similar, well, not similar thing, but you'd probably be able to get away with something like that, with like a Jinder Mahal or Kofi Kingston might be able to get away with it.
Take a look at that. See that big smile on her face?
Oh, yeah, when she arrived earlier.
Yeah, she's not necessarily happy to be here. She's just smiling though.
Yeah, wait a minute. What's about it? Here's why.
They chanting Burger King for no good reason. He's not even on screen.
You see this, McMahon? Yeah, here's the Burger King. What are you doing? Well, he never think of Burger King.
Get out of here. Kick his ass back. How about I beat everybody? You put the belt on me and I beat everybody. I bet. This is psychotic right here. Tatanka and Bam Bam Bigelow as a tag team. It's nuts. Heel Tatanka is just ludicrous. I don't know what came over Vince to decide what heel Tatanka. It was just insane. Killed Tatanka, by the way. He was dead at this point. He was dead with the Ludwig Borga loss, but he was really over at one point in time too, unfortunately. Talking about they're the underdogs. I guess because they're the jabronis, but the tag team is Bam Bam Bigelow and fucking Tatanka, for God's sake. You're not exactly the Twin Towers. Bob Backlund just Bob Holly, you look like a goddamn hick. Sparky Plug. What a stupid name that is, too. It seemed like when he got the random name generator and he ended up with Sparky Plug or Spark Plug Bob Holly, he didn't bother to even argue against it. He just went with it. X9 says he watched the 89, 92, 94, 02 Rumbles already. Only ones he haven't seen are 94 and 89. Have you not watched all the Royal Rumble? How are you not watching them in order? It's like are you throwing like a dart at a calendar or something like that and just picking them at random? There's a couple of Rumbles I haven't seen in a long time, but I've seen them all. And most of the ones I haven't seen in a long time were like the 2010s ones. Like 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. I haven't seen any of those in a long time. But like 2020, I just watched that the other day. 2021, I probably watched that one over the weekend. Same with 2022. But I think part of it is there being two Rumbles now, so it's harder for me to care about them. But I remember last year's Royal Rumble being really bad. I'm gonna watch it again though, just to confirm. But I remember it sucking. Both of them, both the men's and the women's. Usually one of them are pretty good. That's the negative thing about men's and women's War Games, men's and women's Money in the Bank. They're trying to make these matches unique, and they're on the same show with another match of the same type. Fingers crossed if Tony Khan decided to book the Hurt Business for Collision. Oh, he's going to put them on Collision, brother. If MVP is smart. He does whatever he can to keep them off Collision, but they're going to be on that shit. Just look at this guy, man. He's like a jabroni. If they were to turn Tatanka heel, they should have went full Indian Casino. But it would have been cool to have him return to NXT as Eddie Thorpe's chief. I was wondering why they don't do anything with like all of these older guys. Maybe even just bring Tatanka in and say how Eddie Thorpe is, dishonoring their people or something. I'm glad they finally did it with Nunzio. It didn't go the way that I wanted it to go, but it was still fun. That'd be the only way that you can make Eddie Thorpe interesting if you bring Tatanka in to ask him what the hell are you doing? For the Chief Buffalo Soldier. You say you've seen the Rumbles between 95 and 06, but the others are just random. That's crazy. I don't like the Attitude Era Rumbles. I can tell you that. I don't like the 2010s Rumbles. Not a big fan. And I'm like, oh, shit. Whoa, what a spot. I don't like the Attitude Era Rumbles. Bam Bam just no-sold that kick. That was great. It's sad that they talked Bam Bam Bigelow into all of this shit, thinking he's going to get a main event push after he worked with Lawrence Taylor. And it didn't happen. Listening to fucking Vince. But dealing with the clique. Clique boys. Ruining it for everybody. It's amazing they got away with that shit twice. Bam Bam was supposed to get it. I don't know if he's going to get the title, but he was supposed to get a push. That didn't work. As a babyface, too. And then it didn't work. They killed him. And then the next year was Vader. Same position. He was supposed to get a huge main event push, and they ended up killing that one, too. But that was mostly Shawn because Hall and Nash were already gone. There's a lot more mullets in this match than it was in the previous one. There's more mullets. There's mullets galore in this one. They put this match on as a cool down match. The break between the big main event guys and the Royal Rumble, which is what everybody came to see. But they still have, ooh, shit. That was a great spot. He just slammed his guy's head into the mat. Did these guys ever work one-on-one, Bam Bam and 1, 2, 3 Kid? This feels like it's something they would have done on Raw. Or maybe Superstars or something. Well, the 92 Rumble being the best one is clear. The early 90s Rumbles are the best ones. 90, 91, 92. And then 93 kind of was not great. 94 was not great. I don't remember 95 being that great either. But we like to watch that one again. So, but 90, 91, 92, hell yeah. 90 was the second best Rumble after 92. And then maybe the 2017 Rumble. He got Tatanka working like he a giant or some shit. That's crazy. Oh, of course Tatanka takes the. So he about to take the pin. Shit. But he would be in this match to take the pin too. He's the lower on the card of the two guys, but the story doesn't work if Tatanka is the one who gets beat. Nobody cares about your fire up, Sparky Plug. That's why they won champions long. That's what I liked about Vince, though. Like he saw the potential of this Cinderella story or whatever. It didn't really get over because people didn't really care about these guys, but it was all about transitioning them to when they about to, I think, to the Smoking Guns. I think it was after them. The whole point of this whole tournament was to get Bam Bam and LT together. You say you still don't get why Rick Martel no Hall of Fame. I think he said he refused it. I think it's the same reason the Honky Tonk Man wasn't in. But I think he's probably more interested now because people keep saying that he keep liking the post and everything. So maybe he's willing to go in now. But I think there was a time when he didn't want to. That elbow was vicious. It was like right on the throat. Hey, this match going on a little long, brother. A little long in the tooth. 1, 2, 3 Kid being the hot tag guy is very strange. But it's amazing that Bob Holly, again, he's balding at 92. I mean, 95. Captain Lou. I know Cornette was hot because the Heavenly Bodies was in this tournament too, and they lost. I know he was hot about that. Oh, miscommunication. 1, 2, 3 Kid heel turn was much better than Tatanka's. That was not a tag, sir. Oh, okay. Yeah. Miscommunication. And now you putting Tatanka out of the ring? There was no tag. Never mind. It don't even matter at this point, guy. Oh, he got him when he clearly don't got him. Vince acts like he don't know what the finish is. The weird thing is, like, they talk about how crazy Vince is on commentary. Could you imagine Vince being on commentary and these guys are in the ring fucking up or, you know, whatever? What a maneuver. Oh my. Or he'd use weird words on television. Like, that was another Gorilla Monsoon thing that Vince would do. They use, like, interesting verbiage, let's say. Solar plexus, occipital protuberance, matubula oblongata. How about that maneuver? Not that move, but maneuver. It's not a move, it's a maneuver. He's holding the tag rope. Oh, look at him playing by the rules. Oh, Bob Holly is at the wrong corner. Oh, he tagged Tatanka. What an idiot. What an idiot. They beating the tar out of Bob Holly over in this corner. How old is Tatanka now? He's got to be like in his 60s, right? This is one of those matches where there's only one person that's dead in this entire thing here. Everybody else still alive. I ain't here to talk about Tatanka dying, so he's still alive apparently. You saw DDP on NXT? I didn't see DDP on NXT. He must have been sitting in the crowd or something. Or he must have did a backstage segment when I went to the bathroom. That's weird. I didn't see DDP on NXT at all. Those kicks are not making contact at all. And they did that punch. This is a tough time for talent in the World Wrestling Federation. But it seemed like they gave up on guys almost immediately. Like Bob Holly, he didn't get like a huge push, and then the air went out of him. There was no push for Bob Holly at all. Yep, Bam Bam, the only man in this match that's dead. I don't know about the referee. Is the referee alive? Even the manager's still alive. Man, this match long. Sheesh. Let's get to the Rumble. Smart of Bam Bam to get his arms up and not just trust the kid to throw that goddamn kick. Why is he doing this? Oh shit. Wow. What is that noise? This match is entirely too long, my guy. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. That looked like it hurt like hell. We should ask Sean Waltman about that spot. Like, how bad did that suck? He was only 29 here? Wow. What the hell is... Tataka, oh my god, he was only 29? He had already been in the company 2 years, too? 2 or 3 years? One, two, three. Is 1, 2, 3 Kid the ground zero for indie or American Lucha? You got Sabu. Who else? Trying to think of someone. No way. No way that was the finish. Well, he was 31. Oh wait, that makes more sense. What a terrible finish. Could have cut 10 minutes out of this thing. They weren't champions long. They got Matt Cardona. They got what was that? They were champions longer than Matt Cardona was, though. I think they were champions for like a week, but they still lost the belts pretty quick. Who's the best younger wrestler? Randy at 24 or Roxy right now? Well, she's got more experience right now than Randy had at 24. Remember, Randy started at 19 or something like that, or 20. Roxanne Perez started. I don't know. She was 16 when she started. Yeah, Bam Bam down bad. His face all lumpy. He got pinned by the 1-2-3 kid. Oh, he's hot. I like how they set this up. He didn't go right at Lawrence Taylor. He's arguing with the various other members of the crowd. Uh-oh. LT was my Mr. T. Oh shit. This was a good angle. That was a really good angle. Nobody expected that shit. And you know what else they did? They did some fun stuff after this too. Because they did a gimmick where the WWF forced Bam Bam Bigelow to apologize. And then stuff started happening, so he never actually got to do it. I think the first time he kind of refused, and then they said he was going to suspend him if he didn't. And then LT didn't show up to hear the apology. And then the third time he challenged him to a match. The rule of three. And then they started doing all the football stuff when they started bringing in all the football players and shit. I should probably check my phone. I ain't looked at my phone in forever.
Wrestling Federation? Simple. You saw me all by myself, single-handedly eliminate 7-foot Diesel. All you big men, you're all gonna go out at the hands of the Heartbreak Kid. And just like I told you earlier this afternoon, tonight is gonna be such an easy night. Why? Because this is the year of the Heartbreak Kid. The last thing you folks are gonna see is old HP himself share arm in arm with Pam Anderson, the winner of the Royal Rumble.
And then they booked him to wrestle Adam Bomb in order to prove that he can beat a wrestler bigger than him. He wrestled Brian Clark, aka Adam Bomb, which is easily one of the least good Shawn Michaels matches. I just can't fucking stand that guy, man. He's so bad. It was on Superstars. It was at some point in '95. Because it was all about proving that Shawn can wrestle with guys bigger than he is. Yeah, this is before the tobacco and everything started taking its toll. The drugs and the tobacco, the chew, as they say. Co-winners of the Royal Rumble, Jack Tunney. What a dumb decision. Unreal that they still trying to push this Lex Luger thing in '95. It was over, brother.
It's over and done with. History. Yesterday's news. What I want to talk about is here and now. 1995. What stands out with the Royal Rumble? What separates the men from the boys? The pretenders from the contenders. You know what? I'm a little sick and tired of being a contender here in the World Wrestling Federation. It's time for me to fulfill my destiny here and become a champion. It starts right here and now. 1995. I will not be denied. It's the year of the man made in the USA. Lex Luger.
That didn't work. In any event, he wrestled King Kong Bundy on an episode of Superstars that led to his match with his tag team match. His tag team with the British Bulldog. And Lex Luger versus King Kong Bundy was not good. Okay. It don't even sound good on paper, okay? It was not good. But the positives are it led to his tag team with the British Bulldog, which everybody loves. Everybody loves the Allied Powers. Especially that theme song. That theme song is the best. I like the bait and switch they did at WrestleMania though, where Shawn came out with Carmen Electra instead. No, that wasn't Carmen Electra. What was the girl's name? Why did I have Carmen Electra on my mind? I forgot what her name is, but it wasn't Pam Anderson. How much did Vince pay Pam Anderson to do this? Did you see how she looks these days? She's a disaster today, man. That's so sad. Pam is not as bad as Sunny. Sunny is the shits, but she didn't age well. That's unfortunate. It's extremely unfortunate. Is he talking about spending money on Pam Anderson? Well, the king is rich, so he's ready to spend some money on these hoes. You feel me? Jenny McCarthy. There we go. I think this is the shortest Royal Rumble match in history, they said, because they got the timing all fucked up. I think 94 and 95, the timing was all screwed up. The timing is always kind of janky in the Rumble, but it was particularly screwed up in 95 and 94. 94 had a better story, though. It just had a shitty ending. This one is a pretty good story, too, though. But it shows how weak the roster is. Jenny McCarthy, yeah. She was from she was on MTV or something, right? The boyhood dream has come true. Baywatch was owned by NBC, so I guess the network had to throw Vince a bone. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? I can't believe Bulldog is still around at this point in time. Well, he had only been back for a short time. I think about a year or so from his excursion to WCW. You prefer Bulldog over Owen? That's interesting. I just think it's unfortunate that once he turned heel, that they kept him as a heel pretty much for the rest of his time in WWF. I didn't like that because Bulldog was super over as a babyface, especially in the early 90s. 91, 92, Bulldog was hot. Then he went on an excursion to WCW, and that didn't help matters at all. Oh, this is one of those damn times they gimmick the show. Every 60 seconds. No wonder this is the shortest match ever. It's one of the Nazi twins. It's one of the Nazi twins. WG Phil says the attire Davey got on is pretty cool. Would think nothing would stop the 92. Yeah, it's not bad. I didn't mind this. You know, I prefer longer tights on everybody, to be quite honest. But on most people, the less skin I can see, the better. Shit. Oh no, my arm. Damn, this thing called that couldn't have been 60 seconds. My God. You're already on number 4. And they're not playing themes for everybody. Oh, we kicked him right in the goddamn mush. He says one thing I hated about the '89 Rumble is how long the 2 minutes felt. Yeah, they probably try to keep it a shoot 2 minutes. I think the 90 seconds is a great one. It's a great timing. It's Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey. Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey. Duke Dumpster is pretty big. He's a big guy. Why did they give him a garbage man gimmick? I know somebody had to talk to this guy about the garbage man gimmick. Maybe I ought to look that up. WG Phillips said he's surprised the wrestlers actually got movies on the Titantron. This was the good time of the Tron. This they first started using it. Sione, aka the Barbarian. He's still there, by the way. He's been there forever. Calling the tag team the Head Shrinkers is just nasty work. It's the nastiest of works. Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey. It's just such an eclectic cast of characters we got here already. You got a garbage man, you got the British Bulldog, he's been there since the 80s. You got Shawn Michaels, you got the Barbarians in the ring. It's the other guy from the history. No, it's Dr. Tom Pritchard. He said, "Miss that guy just entered the Rumble with no theme song." And there's a lot of people coming in the ring with no theme song at this point. They haven't played a theme song for any of these guys so far, outside of the first two. Which is dumb because they was playing the theme songs in the 80s. I mean, well, not in the 80s, but in the 90s. Like, was it 91 when they used to play theme songs in 91? They used to play theme songs for guys. I don't know why they're not doing it in 95. I guess they figured it wouldn't be enough time because there's 60 seconds in between, and then the guys are getting to the ring pretty fast. That's doink. He said, "Do you think the kids at NXT watch old shit like this to give them a little motivation?" I would imagine they probably get. I heard they get a list of like they get requests whatever they want for research or whatever. I'm pretty sure they might just watch shit like this just for fun. You get some ideas of how to work a Royal Rumble match. Get some ideas about eliminations and all kind of other gimmick shit you could do. Oh Lord. Oh, it's Quang. Oh, good Lord. It's Savio Vega in a mask. He wasn't Savio Vega yet because Savio Vega hadn't been introduced yet. So this is not good. I never understood Puerto Rican in the mask. All of a sudden he's Japanese. And they started to do a Mystery of the Orient tag team with him and Hakushi. Oh my God, what a joke that was. That was a disaster waiting to happen. Speaking of which, Hakushi wouldn't debut until a couple of months later. There has not been another contender to enter this match in a while. There have been no contenders after Bulldog entered. No legitimate competitors. Oh yeah, he is still there because he wrestled for the Intercontinental Championship. Damn, I haven't even seen him on like Superstars or anything in '95. They must have called him in real late. He didn't even come in full gimmick. He just came in his pink purplish tights. He's trying to poke Quang in the eyes, but he's wearing a mask. They should sell Quang masks. I would buy a Quang mask. Legit. Like right now, I would pay for it. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for it, but I'd pay for it. I wouldn't be able to see out of that motherfucker because I can't see for shit. So anything that's blocking my vision would be real bad. That's the Rocket. Brett with no wrist tape, just beating the hell out of Owen in the aisleway. He beating his ass in the aisleway, bro. This is crazy. This is definitely something you got to watch the entire show to get. But you don't really got to get it. If you know enough about the Brett Owens situation, you know why this is happening. I hate the Brett throwing the headbutts, though. The headbutts are the shits. The crowd loved that. That well done guy. Timothy Well. I don't know shit about Well Done. I just saw these dudes on TV too. What a bump that was. Jesus Christ. Owen Hart, I didn't even see him get in the ring. He's to clear this joint out. There's so many bums in there. Is Flair versus Steamboat the best wrestling match that's not WWF? I would say so. I don't know. I saw Flair have some really bang up matches with the Von Erichs. I've seen Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard, the I Quit match in the cage. There's some really good matches that you now probably like in a traditional professional wrestling match. Probably it might be. Flair, I mean, which Flair versus Steamboat though? Because there's three of them, you know. I think the 2 out of 3 falls match was a little long. The last one was probably the best one. Yeah, the Shot Town Rumble match was pretty good. Oh, more bums. How does he know? Damn, he laid that clothesline in. Nazi twin number 2. He blew a spot. Sean was pretty mad, I'm pretty sure. The mat getting dirty. This just felt like Vince didn't have enough players for the entire run. We putting tag team guys in that bitch. That was the bad thing about the 94, 95, 96, 97 Rumbles. It's like the roster was so thin, most of the guys didn't matter. Put fucking Tenryu and I know that they like him, but who cares? King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy, Son's neck. He's a giant fucking thumb. Owen Hart tried to sneak Bulldog and it didn't work. You saw your first Luke Thez match. Who was he wrestling? Because you watch like Thez. There's probably some Thez. I don't think these are the whole matches, but there's like recorded Thez Rogers matches, but I don't think it's the whole match. I feel like it might be clips. He's beating the shit out of Buddy Rogers for sure. It's Mo from Midnight Ministry. Oh shit. That's got to be one of the records, bro. That's got to be like 3 seconds. Thez versus Bruno? When would that have happened? Oh. Look at the state of King Kong Bundy at this point in time. Just look at him. He's bulbous. Like a giant fucking onion. Big pear-shaped human being. Mabel. Tag team partners back to back in a random draw, huh? Yeah, right. Oh, now the crowd is up for this, huh? Two fat guys. Yeah, it is like two monster trucks tackling against each other. Bulldog is taking a nap. He's laying on the ground. X9 says the reason he forgot is because he's just seen so many old matches, old shows this week. I don't know when Luthez would have wrestled Bruno Sammartino. I can't even think of when that would have occurred. Oh, shit. Oh, Bundy's out. Oh, good lord. The Bushwhackers just always have good Popeye energy. You know, they just got eliminated. I can't believe the Bushwhackers are still there in 95, for God's sake. Everybody's trying to get Sean out of there. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Lex Luger. I've never been. Luger is interesting top guy because I'm not a fan of how he throws punches. Not quite like a feather, but he throw them out. Yeah, Luger's supposed to be still a big deal at this point in time, but the crowd is not behind him. I mean, the fans are not there. You just look at how sad it is. Look how pathetic it is. Luger has just got nothing going. The momentum is gone. SummerSlam killed this guy. That did it. He was dead in the water at that point. He absolutely should have won the Rumble last year. The 94, rather. Or Brett should have just won it. Oh, Lord, it's a Mantar. Another human thumb. It wasn't Bruno, it was Hans Schmidt. Schmidt. I know the name, but I don't think I've ever seen the guy. He said the way you be talking about certain be hilarious, like you got beef with him. I mean, Mantar is the shits. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying to make it personal. I don't know the guy personally, but he's very bad. I mean, he's very weirdly built. You know? Mantar. Here's PJ Polaco, the Portuguese man of war, a.k.a. Just Incredible. He was a very young guy at this point in time, too. I can't believe they didn't put that jock strap on his head. I know he just wanted a job, but man, the jock strap, the Portuguese stuff, how ridiculous. You said besides Lou and Bruno, the rest of them niggas just blend. A lot of them, because there was not a lot of color back then in terms of desire to stand out. And in fact, people who tried to stand out usually got frowned upon. But that's actually what made like Gorgeous George important, you know, and Buddy Rogers, because they actually went out their way to look different, to approach the business differently. Here come the Hog Farmer. This is heel Henry Godwin. He had a really terrible match with Undertaker on Superstars shortly before this. It was really bad TV. Henry Godwin is not good, sir. Babyface, he's actually not bad, but heel, not good. I don't understand where the idea of a hog farmer came from. I wish Vince would not have hog farmer ideas. They really did put a yellow jock strap on this kid's head. I never understood that. Never got it. And this is what he's known for. That guy was going to be a world champion. Nobody cares. All you know that he put a jock strap on his face at one point in time. And he had really poor braids or dreadlocks or something like that. What about her lips? Oh, it's Billy Gunn. Damn, he's so slippery, he slid all the way across the ring. Billy Gunn is still relevant on TV in the year of our Lord 2025. What the hell is going on here? Oh yeah, I was right the first time then. They did get Matt Cardona. You said when did Undertaker started having great matches? Well, he had great matches at this time, but they were few and far between because he was wrestling, bums. Here comes Bart. Oh, back to back again, huh? How fortuitous. I don't even know what number they're on at this point. You said X9 says, one thing I took away from it, I like the shoot sports style commentary. Was going look from it, look at a MAGA flying headbutt like it is now. I do like the sports I just like the variation of it. I wouldn't want to sit through a 3-hour sort of presentation of that. Like when I watch some of that old stuff, I just skip to what I want to see. And sometimes I'll stop and I'll watch like something like that. But usually YouTube is probably the best to watch that kind of stuff. You get to see what you want to see. If they try to put together like a show, 3 hours of that, I'll probably be like, I don't know. The same thing when you watch like old territory wrestling and stuff. Mr. Bob Backlund. And here comes Brett again. He beating the shit out of Bob Backlund. Notice Diesel ain't trying to get no revenge. But Brett's getting his lick back. You feel me? Brett ain't letting it sit. He's sick of these people. He's been beefing with Bob and Owen for months now at this point. But Shawn and Diesel have been getting into it since Survivor Series. It's a Dunn guy. Steven Dunn. It had to be one of them tag teams from like Smoky Mountain. I don't remember. It's fuck all about Well Done. Man, Bob Backlund didn't even get to look at the ring. He had his back turned. But one thing interesting is the crowd is small. You can tell the crowd's small. But they got a lot of people got on like WWF merchandise, like the T-shirts and everything. If you look in the crowd, you see a lot of people wearing like WWF merchandise. I wonder if they got that shit for free or if they actually paid for it. Because I'm pretty sure they got the ticket for free, especially during this time, brother. They got the entranceway all clogged up. Oh, Dick Murdoch? What the? That's random. Dirty Dick Murdoch. God damn, that's random. Holy hell. Talk about human potatoes. Hey, but this is what I like about the Royal Rumble, though. Guys like Dick Murdoch showing up out of nowhere. I mean, fucking Rick Martel showing up out of nowhere. That's what the Royal Rumble is for. Steven Dunn and Dick Murdoch in the same ring. I mean, where else on earth has this occurred? And I can't believe Mantar is still a thing. He's still in there. He's wearing brown, dog. Ain't nobody been able to pull off brown ever. Adam Bomb. He used to wear those quirky contact lenses. He's supposed to. I don't know what the character is supposed to be, but he's supposed to like a nuclear holocaust or something like that. But he's like a mutant. He's wearing like these really weird contact lenses. The Adam Bomb is just terrible. He's the shits. Brian Clark is now official. Well, I can't say he's the worst wrestler in the ring because Mantar is still in the ring. But top 3. Okay. He's top 3 worst wrestlers in the ring right now currently. And here comes Fatu. This before making a change, Fatu, which I think was later in '95. This is gunshot. Look at my C-section scar, Fatu. It'd been a head shrinker for, I mean, not a head shrinker, but like a wild Samoan and all that kind of stuff, like a minute at this point. Mantar. That's what he wanted to do to Vader. He wanted to turn Vader into Mantar. It didn't work. Mantar is terrible. My God. Adam Bomb is now probably the second worst wrestler in the ring. No, actually, he might be one of the first. I don't know anything about Steven Dunn, so I can't say he's worse than Adam Bomb. I can't say he's worse than Adam Bomb. But Adam Bomb's still top 3, probably top 2 now. Oh shit, Adam Bomb has gone down to number 3 because Crush about to get in the ring. And Crush is easily one of the worst motherfuckers of all time. Crush is the shits, bro. I swear to God. Well, Crush and Adam Bomb is probably like 3A and 3B worth. 2A and 2B when it comes to terrible wrestlers currently. Now they're 1A and 1B. I have to put Steven Dunn as the worst wrestler in the ring because I don't know anything about it. But now it's easily Crush and Adam Bomb are the 2 worst wrestlers in the ring. Even old and fat Dick Murdoch, I would probably prefer to watch that over Brian Clark and Brian Adams. Those dudes are terrible. The last WrestleMania opponent for Macho Man Randy Savage is Bloody Crush. If you think that Kurt Angle got screwed, look at the Macho Man. He went from wrestling Hogan and Warrior and Dusty and DiBiase to wrestling Crush. All right? That's a fall off if I ever heard of one. That's embarrassing. I'd have left too. I would have left. I'd have took my bags and disappeared. Packed my bags and went on my way. I got to wrestle Crush at WrestleMania. That's the best you got. Can't even give him like a Jeff Jarrett. Not even like a British Bulldog or anything like that. Or a Lex Luger. Crush. Oh, man. I can't believe that Portuguese Man of War is still in the ring. He's an absolute embarrassment, by the way. He's still got a jock strap on his head. It's not good. Dick Murdoch didn't bother to tan. Probably didn't even bother to put on lotion. I mean, guy just jumped out the car, took his jacket off, and got in the ring. I mean, it's crazy stuff that's going on here. Why did Lex Luger save him? Is that all 30 already? It's been more than 60 seconds. Crush was number 30? Yeah, Crush was 30. Jesus Christ. We blew through that joint. They got all them bums in and out. Ugh. Ugh. There's just no saving Crush. Babyface, heel. The only time he was actually even decent was he was in Demolition. That's because the other guys could carry him. And it was hilarious that people don't know that's the same Crush from Demolition. He's headbutting the Samoan. What is he doing? He did it 3 times like an idiot. And then Luger gonna show up and try to headbutt a Samoan. What's wrong with this guy? You know, Samoans are born with like steel plates in their head. I just know they did Adam Bomb versus Crush in a match on TV. I just know they did it. It's probably the worst match on the entire network. I can't believe Fatu is still in there. He acts like he a contender. Aldo Montoya. I couldn't remember what his name was. Like I knew it was a Portuguese man of war, but I couldn't remember what the name that was actually what it was. Probably just foggy brain because it's late in the day. Well, look at that flip Fatu just did. Waste of a flip on this mullet having hooligan. This guy's terrible, man. And I know Henry Godwin is hot. I know he's tired. He wrestling in the overalls, jeans. I know he probably blown the fuck up, dog. I know he's tired of the bitch in there. Wrestling every night in jeans. That's punishment. Nobody in their right mind thought Dick Murdoch was winning this match. Oh shit. He got dizzy and went over the top rope. How ridiculous is that? We got a final 5 going here. We got Bulldog on the ground. Teasing their tag team thing that they would do later. Now Sean and Henry Godwin gonna jump Luger. My God. Everything is just breaking down. It's not working out. There's 3 heels in the ring. But both of the baby faces are pretty strong. Crush is in the final 4. Jesus H. Christ. What a difficult time this was. No wonder they was taking the water out of the offices. Crush is in the final 4. He's not gonna sell you not one T-shirt, not one action figure, not one video game. Crushing Luger. I know they didn't work well together. Jesus Christ. As short as this match is, Sean has not stopped moving this entire match. Davey Boy is the most over guy in the match remaining. Yeah, and Luger's out. And everybody's happy that Luger is out. There's some boos, but there's a lot of people that stood up and started clapping that Luger was out. I like this. I like this setup though. The two heels, one baby face. Make the baby face overcome this. Especially since what they're going to do is actually so sensible. This is a good setup because you get the idea that the Bulldog has to overcome this shit, right? Like, why else would you put two heels in there with a baby face at the end? Unless he's going to win. And of course, the bad guys, they backstab each other because that's what bad guys do. Ooh, Sean with the eye rake. Crush fucked himself out of position. You bum. You loser. Scumbag. Now we down to the two that started it. Sean and Bulldog. And everything is set up for Bulldog to win. He's got the heel one-on-one. It's a smaller heel, a weaker heel. Everything is set up for Bulldog to win. And that's what the crowd wants. I don't think that they actually thought they wanted Bulldog versus Diesel at WrestleMania, but that's what's being teased at the moment. And here comes the great finish. And people are somewhat happy with the Bulldog win. Nobody rang no bell, and the Bulldog heard his theme song playing. It was like, hey, I won. Fuck. Hey, that's great. They did it off of the hard cam side, so not to give it away too. Pam's nipples are very hard. You can see them through there. Jesus. Nice little trick they did here. That little girl was wheeling Shawn Michaels into the mat. Like, no, please don't lose. I don't want the actual greasy haired babyface to win. But I don't think the crowd cared about anybody winning this match. They seem to be less than enthused. So Shawn Michaels wins the 1995 Royal Rumble, which is probably all of 20 minutes because the match was so short. Pam is less than impressed at the Heartbreak Kid, which of course she's supposed to be because he's a cocky heel and he's sweaty. But he's he's trying to he's making the most out of it, trying to get her to dance. But she's excited. At least it might be cold in the building. But okay. Is it still one of the worst Royal Rumbles? Yeah, easily. I don't think it's top 5 anymore, though. I think there's been so many bad ones since then that the 95 Rumble isn't the worst Royal Rumble anymore. I don't think it's in the top 10 at this point. Actually, it might be. It might be in the lower part of the top 10, however. But it might be like an 8 or a 7, if we're being honest. What is happening here? What's going on? It looks like am I missing something? Anyway, did I see Society reviews triggering the women's division like Rhea and Chelsea? I did see that. It was very interesting. It's very funny what gets these people all riled up. He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job getting them all riled up. The Rhea Ripley thing makes 0 sense. And she's an idiot for even jumping into that and taking a bite out of that. She's a fool. But I gotta use the bathroom really bad, and I gotta go check my phone. So thanks everybody for stopping by. Talk to you guys later.